The story of why I don't have my son, part two. You need to watch the video before this so you understand where I'm starting from, because I'm not going to start all over. Okay, so anyways, he files the emergency thing in court, essentially alleging, in my opinion, that I kidnapped Huxley in some type of way, and he had no idea where Huxley was, even though we were doing this back and forth thing. Like he had come, I let him come over to my new place to drop off Huxley on the day that I moved in, even though it was a day that he wasn't supposed to have him, so he could see where Huxley was living. Like, I'm thinking, okay, like, yeah, I hate this person. Yes, he's a jackass. Yes, he's old as fuck, but we're going to be able to co-parent together because he's old as fuck, and he's probably going to be dying soon because he's so freaking old. He's not going to act childish. Little did I know, no. Being old as fuck don't mean you're not going to act like a child. He still acted like a child. So at this court hearing, it's on Zoom. It's a 30-minute thing. The lady's like, we have a luncheon to go to in like 30 minutes. His side ends up taking 22 minutes to make all of these allegations, alleging that I gave my son alcohol. My son barely even drinks apple juice. They said something about me making sex videos with my son. Like, what the fuck? They also said that, what else did they say? They were talking about how when Anthony and I were children, okay, that they tried to say that Anthony was doing inappropriate things to me that I did not consent to. I won't say the words because I think it's going to get flagged in this video. But basically all of this crazy heinous stuff. He also alleges that I charged $200,000 on his credit card. And I'm like, what the fuck? I shop at Target and Costco. Like, where? Where's $200,000 worth of stuff? $200,000 in 10 years, $20,000 a year, because we would pay bills and stuff on Amex so we could get points. Like, what are you talking about, bitch? Because he still never showed the receipts for that. And we asked for that in discovery multiple times. Still never showed it, okay? And the other allegation that he made, the only allegation that he made that was actually true, was that I did not return my son's school jacket. Okay, now it was not a school uniform jacket. It was one of those, like, you can get this jacket if you want to, and we'll print the school logo on it for $54, fleece jacket. But it was too small. It came up to my son's, like, middle of his arm. Okay, so I didn't send the jacket back because it was too small. Okay, and his dad's the type of person that will wear freaking high waters. Okay, so he didn't care about that type of stuff. I cared about that type of stuff. So I didn't send the jacket back, but I sent 4 new jackets to the house. North Face, Carhartt, like, nice jackets. $400 worth of jackets I had overnighted. He's sending me all these text messages telling me I'm going to lose my son over this damn jacket. I'm like, what the hell? That was the only allegation to this day that he's made about me that is actually true. So we're sitting at this court hearing. He takes up 22 minutes of the 30 minutes to make all these allegations that I'm fucking blindsided with. Like, how do you defend yourself? How do I prove that I've never given my son alcohol? How do I prove that in 7 minutes? Okay, so in those 7 minutes, then they said, okay, well, because she's made all these reckless decisions, she didn't give his school jacket back. She's with this horrible person, and she's just a horrible mom because she didn't. He also said I didn't send my son to school, like, no days. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't even have, because I didn't know that was going to be an allegation, but his attendance records show he missed school on 2 days. That was January 10th, when we were supposed to go to court the first day, and we ended up not going because it snowed, and then January 11th, when we finally went, because I didn't have anybody to pick him up. So the person that I had watching him was not on the list to be able to pick him up. But other than that, he was going to school, but I didn't have the opportunity to show any of that stuff. So that happened in February of 2022. And I got to see him every other weekend. I could take him to my house. And then on Wednesdays, but for some reason, when I saw him on Wednesdays, I had to stay in public. I wasn't allowed to take him to my house on Wednesdays, but he could go to my house over the weekend. Not really sure why. And then he was never not allowed to leave the state. And they said he wasn't allowed to be around Anthony. Anthony was hired by Huxley's dad. So he did a background check on him. He tried to make it sound like this Anthony was like this 50-year-old man touching me as a 10-year-old child. Anthony started touching my boobies when I was 10 years old and he was 13. Like, we were in love. We thought we were going to get married, and we did. But sir, you're sitting here making these allegations, and I'm 19 years old and you're 50 years old. Well, I don't know how old he was at the time. What, 30 something years old, 18 years older than me? So I did take my son. I tried. But at that point, then they're saying, okay, well, now this is how it's going to be until you guys go to your next hearing in June. So it's only supposed to be from February till June, but then the same thing happens in June. Like, I'm sitting here, how do you prove that these things didn't happen? That this man is saying that they've happened. All the stuff that he did to me, the courts don't care about. Like, you could literally someone could punch their baby mama in the face. The judge still is not going to tell that man he can't see his kid. They're going to be like, did he punch the kid in the face? Nope. Well, he can see him. Okay, he called the baby mama ugly, fat, and lazy. Okay, well, what did he do to the kid? It don't even matter what he said to the kid. It just matters what he did to the kid. So I've been trying. $150,000 in legal fees fighting this old as fuck man. I've been trying my best. He lives in another state. I don't live in that state anymore. I'm not going to live in that state anymore because I have other children whose father lives here. He owns a business here, an actual legitimate business, not one of those generational wealth, get rich from home businesses, a legitimate business. Will Huxley be able to leave the school that he's at? I can't talk about the school because a whole nother situation happened with the school. I can't talk about the school. Okay? I can't talk about the school. I wish I could, but I can't. I can't talk about the school. I can't. But in court, the judge said, how bad would it be for him to go to a new school, to the court's custody evaluator? He said, well, based on how poorly he's doing in school, under the sole observation of the father, a no school might be better for him because they might be able to offer him resources like that he needs, or just basically be able to offer him a better education. I can't talk about the school. I would love to, but I can't because I have another lawsuit, and then I'll have to file another lawsuit. But there's been lawsuits. They're not anymore. They've been done and they've been dropped. But there's been lawsuits because I can't talk about the school. But I've been trying. So I know every mom would be like, I would do this. I would do this. Go do it then, bitch. Go do it. Because I've done everything. I've done everything. So don't just, I would do this and I would do that. Congratulations. I have done everything that I can. I spent $150,000. I don't even know where I made that money appear from. And no, that's just not money from my baby daddy. Every dollar that man has given me, I have paid him back. Every dollar that I have borrowed from him, I have given back. He does not just hand me a stack of money every month. It doesn't happen. I don't do that because I'm not going to put myself in that position again. But I made $150,000 appear, okay, from busting my ass to fight for my son. So don't sit here and tell me I would have done this, I would have done that. Did you pay $150,000 to fight for your kid? So that's the tune that we're talking at. And so I might, regardless of what happens with this situation, us sitting and fighting in court for the 2 years that we've been in court at this point, will this be the end of it? I'm not saying that it will be. All I'm saying is I need a little bit of time to re-up, because if I'm going back with stacks. They're not going to be donated from somebody else. They're not going to be coming from somebody else. It's going to be for me working and getting that money to go and fight for my son. And that's it. I drink my juice. Sorry if I seem worked up or aggressive. I just hate that motherfucker. I do. And I'm sorry I said it, but I do.